Getting pre-approved for a mortgage loan is the first step that you'll need to take once you're ready to buy a home. It's a fairly quick and simple process when you're prepared. However, a pre-qualification is a very informal conversation with a loan officer covering your employment status, income, liabilities, assets, and your estimation of your credit score. I don't recommend a pre-qualification because they don't hold any weight if you're ready to start shopping for a home. These are the steps that you should take. First, get organized and gather all your documentation. Let's review the mortgage documentation checklist.
The first section covers the income documentation required. If you are employed, you'll need to provide your loan officer with a 30-day history of your most recent paycheck stubs with no gaps between them, the last 2 years of your W-2 forms, and your federal 1040 tax returns. Make sure you include all schedules and pages of the returns. You can, however, exclude the state returns. Those are never required. There are some special circumstances. If you have rental income, you'll need to provide a copy of the current lease agreement. If you have been divorced and receive alimony or child support, provide a copy of the full divorce decree and 6 months of canceled checks or evidence of direct deposit verifying the amount you receive. If you're receiving Social Security or disability, provide a current year award letter. And if you're receiving a pension or retirement income, provide copies of checks or evidence of direct deposit that cover the recent 30 days. If you're self-employed, your company will be set up as either a sole proprietor, a C corporation, an S corporation, or a partnership. Follow the checklist for the exact documentation needed for each entity. All self-employed entities are also required to provide a copy of a current year-to-date profit and loss statement and a balance sheet that must be signed and dated. You'll also be asked for a business license or a letter from a CPA confirming the number of years self-employed. Assets. This is where you prove that you have the money in the bank to purchase a home by providing the most recent 2 months of bank statements. They must have all pages of the statement, and they must show complete account numbers for all checking, savings, investment, and retirement accounts. Regarding only the funds needed for the transaction, if there is any large non-payroll deposits that are over 50% of the qualifying monthly income, your loan officer will ask you to provide copies of the deposited item and a written explanation. If you're receiving a gift, your loan officer will give you a gift letter once you are in contract. The gift letter will have the donor's name first, which is the person gifting the money, the dollar amount being gifted, the recipient's name, and the relationship. They must be family related. Next is the property location that's being purchased and the date. This section is the donor's bank account information, the name of the institution, the address, and the account number. The donor will then sign the form. They will give their phone number and their address. Recipient or recipients will both sign the gift letter. And then they will also provide some documentation to support the gift letter. The borrower receiving the gift, if it is in the form of a check, will have to have a photocopy of the check. Then they will also have to have a printout of a history statement from the bank account that they've deposited to. And the history statement should follow the last bank statement given, that date, till the current date, and it should show the deposit and the new balance in the account. If it's a wire transfer, you only need that history statement. You also will have to get a copy of the donor's bank statement evidencing the funds came from the donor's account. Let's go back to our checklist, and we are now on liabilities. If you are currently renting, you can provide 12 months of canceled checks to prove that you have paid your rent on time, or you can provide the name, address, phone number, and email address of your landlord so your loan officer's team can verify your rental history. If you're paying monthly alimony or child support, provide a complete copy of the divorce decree or legal custody papers. If you are self-employed and you have business loans that are under your name personally that are showing up on your credit report and they are hindering your qualification, you can provide 12 months of canceled checks paid by the business, so those debts will not count against you. If you own other real estate, provide a copy of the mortgage statement. If the mortgage statement includes the property taxes and insurance, great. If it does not, you'll also have to give a copy of the property tax bill and hazard insurance statement, as well as any PUD or condo statements showing what you pay monthly. The next items only come into play once you're in contract. Your loan officer will be asking you if there are any other debts that are not showing up on your credit report that they need to know about. And they also will ask you to provide an explanation letter for any credit inquiries that are listed on the credit report. Identity verification. You can either provide a state-issued driver's license or photo ID. A valid passport will work. And if you have a green card or work visa that is required, you will have to provide that information as well. Credit report information. This comes into play once you're into contract. Provide a signed and dated credit explanation letter for all derogatory credit that appears on your credit report. That includes late payments, collections, bankruptcy, foreclosure, a short sale, or a deed in lieu. If you have a bankruptcy reported on your credit, provide filed bankruptcy papers and the discharge.
The checklist is available in the resources section of our website under Forms. Secondly, complete the online loan application.
We'll review the Uniform Residential Loan Application called the 1003 for the purposes of this training. The type of mortgage and terms will be completed by your loan officer. Complete the Property Information and Purpose of Loan section. We'll skip over the construction and refinance sections, and your loan officer will also complete the title held and source of down payment. Complete the borrower information starting with your name, social security number, phone number, date of birth, years in school, that's high school 12 years plus any college. Are you married or unmarried? Number of dependents and their ages, and your address for the past 2 years. Moving on to your 2-year employment history, provide the employer's name, address, and phone number. What is your position or title, and how many years have you been on the job, plus the number of years in that line of work. Lending rules are okay with multiple jobs and no gaps of employment while you're working in the same line of work. However, when you change careers, lenders like to see a 2-year history in that line of work. Be aware that gaps of employment can disqualify your income. Previous employment will require your start and end date, your month, day, and year, and monthly income. That leads right into your current monthly income and current housing expense information. Type in the appropriate amounts and your loan officer will make any needed corrections to match your documentation. Type in your asset information, your bank, investment, and retirement company name, account number, and balance. Your liabilities will carry over from your credit report, so you only need to list loans that are not reported to the credit bureaus. Next, if you pay child support or alimony, provide the name and amount you pay monthly. If you own other properties, provide the address, the type of property, the monthly mortgage amount with property taxes, hazard insurance, and include any homeowner association monthly payments, as well as monthly rental income if applicable. List any additional names under which credit has previously been received. Answer yes or no to the declaration questions. And lastly, complete the government monitoring questions.
Third, you'll be contacted by the loan officer to review your loan application, confirm your authorization to pull your credit, and auto-approve your loan. Fourth, you'll receive an email with a secure link to upload your documentation. Upload all the PDF files of your documents. Then the loan officer will review them and make any needed corrections to the loan application and auto-approve your loan. Fifth, once the loan officer has your loan pre-approved, you'll be ready to start shopping for a home. Your loan officer is the best source to connect you with a real estate professional in your area. Sixth, once the loan is pre-approved, the loan officer will be able to issue a pre-approval letter to match the terms of your offer. And that covers the pre-approval process.
Thank you for watching, and here's how you can help us. First, share us with your network on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Secondly, tell your family, friends, and coworkers about us. And lastly, we are publicly funded and need your help keeping our videos free by clicking on the Support tab today. Don't miss the tips and timing video, found only on our website, for all the ways that you can save hundreds of dollars when buying a home.